Hello, everyone. Welcome to Durrett's Take. It's that time of the week. We're going with my NFL predictions for this week. So let's get started with tonight's football game between the Ravens, who are 7.5-point favorites, and the Dolphins. To keep track now, if you exclude the Rams 49 or the 49ers Rams Thursday night football game, a month ago, if you exclude that one, the road teams on Thursday night football this year are now 1-7. So Baltimore has a lot to deal with there. However, the good news is that quarterback Lamar Jackson's finally back in the lineup, and since he's playing, I like Baltimore to win this game. Plus, I don't think Miami's going to be that dominant on defense like they were last week in their win. So I have Baltimore winning 27-20. Next, you get the Falcons versus the Patriots, are 4.5-point favorites. The interesting thing is that the line for the Patriots has been going down throughout the week, so a lot of money coming on the Falcons there. Even if quarterback Michael Penix Jr. is back for the Falcons, their offense has not been a good place in the last couple weeks, especially last week with Drake London, being out. That's a big weapon for them that's out, and if he's out again this week, then it's just going to be hard for them to do anything. Then there's the thing where the Falcons are usually not as good when they're not playing in a dome and they're out in the weather. So I think the Patriots will continue their winning streak. I would be surprised though if this game was a blowout, despite the way the Patriots have been playing. But I have New England winning 24-16. Next, you get the Chargers, who are 9.5-point favorites versus the Titans. Nothing to say here. Chargers don't fall into any trap, and therefore they win 34-13. Next, you got the Bears, who are 2.5-point favorites versus the Bengals. This is good news. There's good news and bad news for the Bears. The good news is that the Bears' offense will get to go against a bad Bengals defense. Plus, the Bengals quarterback Joe Flacco might be out for this game, so Chicago shouldn't have to be in a shootout in order to win this game. The bad news is the receiving core for the Bears is having some injury concerns. Roma Duze is questionable, DJ Moore is questionable, Luther Burden has concussion protocol, so that's a lot of weapons there that are questionable. The good, I would say, what I think that Chicago would do is I think they'll just focus on going heavy running this game, just running the ball down Cincinnati's throat, and that can get them the win. I think either winning 23-16. Next, you get the Colts, who are 3.5-point favorites versus the Steelers. Based on the way the Steelers defense has looked this year, I don't think they'll be able to slow down this Red Hot Colts offense. So I have Indianapolis continuing its high momentum. I have the winning and covering 34-20. Next, you got the 49ers, or 2.5-point favorites versus the Giants. I think the Giants offense is finally going to have, a lot of trouble looking good. Because Malik Neighbors has already been out, as we know, for the rest of the season. But now that star rookie running back Cam Skadaboo is now out for the year as well, I feel like it's just a big loss for them. And then also Giants defensively is now starting to show some aggression last, since that fourth quarter against Denver up until now. So I think the 49ers get the win here. They're winning 24-17. Next, you get the Broncos, who are 1.5-point. So you get the Broncos, you get the Broncos versus the Texans, who are 1.5-point favorites. I know Denver's offense looked good for 4 quarters last week, but that's because of the defense they were playing. I think the offense will go back to looking inconsistent throughout the game. The question is, can they do enough on offense since Denver's defense could slow down Houston's offense, which is not the best. Since Houston is in desperation mode to get a win and remain that playoff hunt, I think I'm going to take them to squeak out a victory here at home. I have Houston winning 19-17. Next, you got the Vikings versus the Lions for 8.5-point favorites. The Lions are coming off a bye week. The Vikings are kind of in a mess right now. Even though Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy, the rookie's returning from foot injury, the offense is just not that good this year, no matter who's under center or quarterback. Therefore, I'll take Detroit to win at home, and they cover, either winning 27-16. Next, you got the Panthers versus the Packers, or 13.5-point favorites. Good news for Carolina is that quarterback Bryce Young should be returning to the starting lineup. The bad news is even the Panthers can put up some points in this game. I don't think they can slow down Green Bay's offense. So therefore, Green Bay gets the win, either winning 31-16. Next, you get the Jaguars, or 2.5-point favorites, versus the Raiders. Both teams are coming off, much needed bye weeks. For me, I don't think the Raiders' issues from the bye week are solvable. So I think the Jazz come out, and come all the way out west and escape with the road win and remain in that playoff hunt. I have Jacksonville winning 20-17. Next, we have the Saints versus the Rams, are 14.5-point favorites. Not much to say here. Rams, off a bye week against one of the worst teams in the league, is making a quarterback change, going from Spencer Rattler down to Tyler Shough. The Rams win and they get the cover. I have Rams winning 31-10. Next, you get the Chiefs, who are 2.5 point favorites versus the Bills. The biggest game of the year that everyone has been waiting for this year. A rematch of the AFC title game of last year. This game obviously could have seeding implications. The Chiefs are rolling right now, so it's hard to pick against the Chiefs when they're rolling, but I'm going to do it anyways because one of the reasons is because the game's with Buffalo, but the other reason is I'll pick Buffalo is because the Bills' weakness on defense is stopping the run, but the Chiefs are not like a downhill running team, so they won't be to me they can't exploit that weakness. So therefore, I have the Bills winning an epic game. I have them winning 27-26. And then for Sunday football, you get the Seahawks, who are 2.5 point favorites versus the Commanders. Seattle's coming off a bye week, which will be an advantage. Even if quarterback Jane Daniels for Washington comes back and reports on track that he is, um, I'm just not sure what Washington's defense can slow down what Seattle's high-powered offense. Therefore, I'll take Seattle to win a close game here. I have them winning 27-23. And then for Monday Night Football, you got the Cardinals versus the Cowboys, who are 2.5 point favorites. The Cardinals are coming off a much needed bye week. Even though Jacoby Brissett played well in the 2 games leading up to the bye week, Kyler Murray will be back and ready to go. And he can feast against a bad Cowboys defense, especially with all the injuries they have in the secondary. For me, because Dallas defense is so bad, I can see that. I could see them not having many more wins on the schedule this year, but to be honest, but I do think in this situation, the Cowboys have been very good at home this year. The Cowboys offense gets to go up against a bad, or not bad, but mediocre Arizona defense. So therefore, I think Dallas gets the home win, either winning 33-30. So thank you very much. This is my podcast today. Please subscribe to my channel and tell me about me. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day.